One of them is called Operation Helioto, which has to do with the mass societies, and different colors, the different races. And the other one is Operation Turnstile, which has to do with the classification of the elite, the wealthy, and those that are below. Like the Vatican, the Bilderberg. You're probably familiar with the Bilderberg, right? The Bilderberg is a corporate society that's a big conglomeration of all these high-class elite people that are corporate commissioners, that are owners of big companies. They meet worldwide every 3 years or something like that, and no one can access to them and get any kind of information from them. So what are they stirring up? It's like a gravy train. They can coat whatever, you know, to create this and that. At the same time, to create a diversion tactic to steer away from problems over here. Like the Halliburton's a part of it. Check this out. You're familiar with the Skull and Bone Society?
Yeah, maybe. I've looked up a little bit on the Masons and all that.
The Freemasons, yeah.
But I hope my status is a lot of paranoia, I thought, involved.
See, I've got some Apache blood in me, see, and one thing that kind of rang a bell about this code name they used for Osama bin Laden, you know, Geronimo. See, Geronimo...
God, how offensive to you.
Well, very much so.
I would have been
pissed
off.
In the face, you know.
God.
Of our military men, a good 30-60%, or maybe, I'd say maybe greater, that are in the military came from Apache country and from Navajo country. Pima. You know, my other side is Ira Hayes. He's the one that raised the flag of Mount Suribachi way back when. He's my great-great-grandpa.
Oh, wow.
I mean, my grandpa, great-grandpa.
Yeah.
And so to think that all these military people that have went and did their tours and came back, those that didn't come back, those ring out. But to think that word was very indicative of what? Why did they use that name to classify?
Why did they?
Yes. But I think that it bears a striking, I guess you might say, disregard for Native people. You know?
Yeah.
And not only that, but to the level of degree to equate someone of his caliber, Osama bin Laden, with Geronimo. Geronimo was a very passionate medicine man, but had a loving relationship with his people.
Yeah.
Osama bin Laden, on the other hand, was one that had a character that, you know, put the women over here. You know, you're out. You know, you're not above me or whatever.
Yeah.
But to think about that word, Geronimo, his skull was used in the Skull and Bone Society, and great-great-grandfather...
They took his actual skull.
The grandfather of George Bush was Peterson Sheldon Bush back in 1900s. Had 3 captains, I believe. Somebody said there was 4, but there was 3 captains, for what I was told. Went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, dug up his grave, and took his bone for their rituals at Yale University, and it's still going on to this day right now. Now, who's all a part of that Skull and Bone Society? Kerry, John Kerry, Clinton, Pillsbury, Rothschilds, Dodge, Ford, all these big conglomerates, man, are a part of that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if you get a little deeper into some reading,
they actually stole Geronimo's skull from Fort Sill.
In 1987,
it's freaking
in 1987,
crazy.
Ned Anderson, our chairman back there from San Carlos Reservation, Apache country, took an entourage of some medicine people and some elders to retrieve the skull. Actually met with Jeb Bush, questioning about this here, and Jeb Bush produced a cranium. This cranium was not of an adult, it was maybe a young buck, but not an adult, because the fissures in the back weren't connected yet.
I used to do mortuary affairs in the Army.
I'm so you're kind of familiar with that, right?
Yeah.
So as far as the military is concerned, you know, and the things that are going on. See, I was in the Corps myself years back.
Oh man, Marines are crazy.
And so, you know, being a grunt and coming back home, you know, it's something else, man. It's something else, really. And now we talk to veterans here that I meet here, my job here, and we talk about these things. And, you know, it gets to the point where a lot of them, you know, just say, I mean, they get really, you know, engulfed by this here. But to think that of all the different factions that I had mentioned here, this Air Force hangar, you don't even know how. It's actually, it's an Air Force hangar that you know, it's got abandoned some years ago. But if you were to walk up to it, you couldn't even describe what it is. You know, the way it was formed. The only aerial view is like this here, the swastika, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, and then now this one here with the CIA, it's like this here.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, you know, there's tone here, black hair, and black there and black there. If you just turn it just a fraction, it's swastika.
That's in the CIA lobby.
Yeah, the CIA lobby. Cheney is a part of it. He's from Wyoming.
Yeah.
Holder's another one, I think. And before him was another one, and Kempthorne's another one with the Department of Interior. They're all linked up together. And to think that the different factions that came up from the south up this way, Mengele, Hoffer, all the various ones that came up. They're working with the military now, biochemists, microengineer, what do you call them, biological engineers and whatnot. And one of them was that Krauss. He stands out. That started that Plum Island. From what I found out recently, that they were going to centralize somewhere within the Midwest, and they picked a spot, Kansas, to centralize right in the middle of the states here. And I wonder what kind of programs projected, under the administration. What's going on?
Yeah.
And really, it's not about about the people, about our welfare, about the sanctity of life, about giving credence to what's going on here as far as what we're fighting for, struggling for, being in an oppressed society in a third world country. Literally, there's people here who don't have electricity or running water at all. Yeah. They chose to live that way too. They don't want to get in the tester like the Hopis are like that, and the Paiutes and the Hualapais down below. There's 2 mines up and running right now. One mine, the little one's Red Butte mine, right here by the Grand Canyon. And actually, it's on the verge of creating more problems. Who in their right mind would want to create or build a mine site adjacent to a crack in the earth, which may very well happen again? Trembles, happen, tremors happen, earthquake can, create problems.
Yeah.
And the native people down there in the canyon are wondering what's going to happen to us, Going to ruin or kill our water and whatnot, And actually, not too long ago here, as a matter of fact, July, this coming month here, there's a deadline. There's a moratorium on it to stop mining. So the current Department of Interior Secretary, Ken Salazar, put a stop to it for 20 years, which is good. But that doesn't stop for the other ones that have already gone through the process.
I wouldn't think so.
No, it won't. So that's another issue that we're dealing with too with the mining out here.